All right, guys, I'm going to be talking about my 2025 state of the market, my reflections, my thoughts, and how I think 2025 is going to go for e-commerce brands, and what are the important areas e-commerce brands must focus on and execute well in order to have a successful year. I think as we saw in 2024, we're still seeing the hangover effects of COVID, not really recovering to where those levels were. We're seeing obviously big changes, especially in the US in the political market, a lot of uncertainty there and how that's going to play out 2025 from a commerce standpoint. And of course, we're still seeing the rising ad costs. We're still seeing the increase in competition, not just of new Shopify brands that are starting every single day, but also because of giants like Temu and TikTok Shop, which are really stealing market share. So what do I think about 2025? I think it's gonna continue to be hard to scale, right? 2024 was tough to scale. It required a lot more focus on areas outside of just running Facebook ads, right? And with those challenges, though, it leaves a lot of opportunity for the e-com brands that can apply all the different areas that they need to optimize, have those running smoothly. If brands can do that, they're going to have a very successful year. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about those areas. There's 4 different areas that I've noted down that I want to go through, and I think it's important to consider these. Maybe you're doing some of them already. Maybe you're not doing any of them at all. But I think they should be taken very, very seriously. We're doing this with our clients because without this, you're lacking something to be able to scale, and you also risk losing runway on your business, potentially running into the ground. So I know scary stuff. I'm not trying to create fear. I'm just trying to create awareness as to what I believe is required for you to be successful this year with the e-commerce brand, right? So it's coming from that place. Now, the first area that I'm referring to is having an amazing product and a strong offer. Now, this is very, very clear and obvious, right? But the amount of brands that I see that the product just is not strong enough. And the way to understand this is not to think, of course, you may think your product is great and strong, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is the market and their opinion. So you want to get feedback on your product from your existing customers. Send out a survey through email asking for feedback. Now, send them to a survey where you ask specific questions. You want to have open-ended questions because you want to get them to share their thoughts and their opinions on your product and how did it actually meet the expectations that they thought it would do. Now, once you have that data, of course, you're going to be able to see, okay, are we on the right track, or is there improvements to be made? Now, if there's improvements to be made, you can either create a new version of that same product, right? Like a 2.0 or 3.0, depending on how many iterations you've gone through, with those improvements added, right? And what you can do is when you do that, you can let those customers know that, hey, we took your feedback on board, we improved the product, right? We improved the formula, we improved the way, the sizing, we improved the process of getting the product, different things, right? And I feel that there's always efficiencies to be made. You just need to know what those efficiencies that need to be made are, right? And the way that you do that is you just ask your customers, okay? So that is the first thing. When it comes to the offer and having a strong offer, you want to create a more attractive offer. You can do this by bundling. You can do this by adding free gifts to your offer. You can do this by offering free shipping. You can get creative by adding extra things. It doesn't always mean discounting, and I'm not encouraging you to go ahead and put a heavy discount on your product. What I mean is that you want to make the exchange of value, meaning what the customer is getting for them giving you their money, is a higher perceived value, right? So this could be, as I mentioned, bundling, where you're giving them more products maybe for a lower price, and it doesn't come across as like a heavy discount, but it's more just like they're getting more value for what they're giving you. And it could be, as I mentioned, adding free gifts, free shipping, something that is a perk that they're getting from purchasing from you. So that is the first area. The second area is having strong LTV metrics that allow you to spend more than your competitors to acquire a customer. Now, if you have read advertising books, I'm not sure where this came from, but basically it might be Ogilvy, but the advertiser that wins is the one that can spend the most to acquire a customer, okay? Now, this couldn't be more true in 2025 because ad costs are going to continue to rise. We know the competition, we've already been through that. There are ways to offset rising ad costs and competition. We're going to touch on that in just a moment, but the back end, also known as the LTV, lifetime value, is going to be a key part of that front end, the ad costs and the competition not really becoming an issue for you, right? If you do have a strong product and strong offer that customers love and that they rave about, and they tell people about, and they come back and purchase again, and you have a nature of your business where there's a recurring part, right? Either people are coming back and purchasing multiple times, right? Every month, every 2 months, every 6 months, or you have a way that you can sell them other products, right? Either you can sell them more expensive things, you could sell them less expensive things, but sell more of those things. We're just adding LTV, lifetime value, right? Every customer we acquire, that customer is going to become more valuable to us, and we're going to realize that LTV down the line, right? On LTV, it's important to have a time frame that you assign to the LTV benchmarks that you have. It could be 3-month LTV, 6-month LTV, 12-month LTV. But the reason why you want to assign a time frame is because you want to know how long it's going to take for you to realize that value, that lifetime value from the customers, all right? So with that in mind, think of, do your existing products have any recurring nature to them, right? Do you have a subscription offer? If not, I would highly, highly recommend figuring out a way to introduce a subscription program. It is an insane way to compound revenue for your business. And I feel like this was a bigger thing in like 2018, 2019, 2020. It's kind of brands have kind of gone away from it. The only brands that are really doing this are like consumables. But even if you don't have a consumable product, you can still introduce a subscription program. You just need to get creative with what you offer, okay? And also look at your post-purchase experience. What does that look like through email and SMS marketing? Are you doing any direct mail? How are you nurturing your customers after they make the purchase to get them to purchase more frequently, get them to join that subscription program, etc., etc. So that is the second area. The third area is having a well-oiled machine for producing high-quality creative, right? This is ad creative every single week. This is mainly going to be for Meta ads or TikTok ads or YouTube ads. It's a content-hungry platform that you're running ads on, right? It's going to be for that. And that's the first part of this. The second part is improving both conversion rate and AOVs, having a well-oiled machine for doing that. So if you're not doing this yourself, if you don't have the capacity to do this yourself, both creative and improving your conversion rate and AOV, then you need to have support on these areas. It's critical for 2025. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to have to pay a bunch of money and hire like super expensive agencies to do this. You could hire freelancers to do this. You could work with an agency like mine where we partner with brands and we have a very reasonable and a cost structure that makes sense and incentivizes both of us to hit the objectives. But that creative process and that conversion rate and AOV process, being able to do those two areas well, is going to be critical to acquiring new customers, both consistently, but also at a target, at a cost that works for the business, even as you scale your ad spend, right? So that is really, really important. And the fourth and final area is building a community around your brand that increases customer retention and LTV even further. Now, the community part where that comes in is, of course, you can use it to get customers to buy more frequently from you. You can use it to launch new products, right, to those existing customers in that community. And that's great, right? But what we're also trying to do here is we're trying to build a deeper, stronger relationship, a bond between the customer and the brand. Because what we don't want to do is have a customer that we pay for come into our ecosystem. They buy our product once, maybe they even buy our product again, twice, buy different products from us, but then they end up just leaving and going to a competitor, right? Because maybe the price was better, maybe the competitor had a stronger offer, maybe they saw an ad that was very good, they tried the products and they realized that, okay, the product's actually pretty good and I can get it for cheaper. What we want to do with a community is we want to build that bond. So how do we create a relationship with our customers? Similar to how big brands like Nike, like Apple, you can get cheaper laptops than a MacBook. You can get cheaper phones than an iPhone. What makes customers come back and purchase and spend that money to have those products? You want to be thinking about that, about your own customers. So when you have a community and when you're really involving, and what it really is you're involving customers in the building of your brand. When you're doing that and when you're getting their input and feedback on existing products, getting their ideas for new products, new flavors, new sizes, new colors, all that stuff, they feel like they are part of the brand and they're building it with you. If you can share the behind the scenes of the trials and tribulations of building a brand and how their support has led to what the brand has become today and that they're building it with you and getting these customers on board as ambassadors, all of this stuff is going to allow you to build that bond with customers. That is going to mean that even if another competitor comes by and they offer a very similar thing for cheaper, what you have is brand, right? And that's really what I'm getting to. You want to invest in brand, and the community is a great way to do this with e-commerce, especially when you're smaller, and it's going to help you really build that up as you continue to grow. Okay, so those are the 4 areas that I wanted to talk about in this video. Just my thoughts on the state of the market in 2025 and really just what I think e-commerce brands should be focusing on. As I mentioned, we're going to be focusing on this with our brands that we work with. If you are interested in seeing maybe how we can do some of this stuff for you, then you can find a link to my website below, and maybe we can schedule a chat. If you do want to watch more videos like this, there will be a video link below where I talk about the 3 key pillars. It's a 3-pillar system that we have built for our clients, where when we implement those areas, it makes it so much more likely that that brand is going to scale profitably and maintain and sustain that scale over time. Okay, so if you want to watch that video, it's linked below, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.